Yeah, well, Africa is such a diverse continent, from the beach to the bush and everything in between. If you are thinking about having a holiday and you're ready to do something truly different, then today is your lucky day. We are talking to Africa expert Cameron Neal from Bench International, and there are a few people in Australia that know Africa better. Cameron, you know it very well, don't you?
I know a little bit, yeah.
Great to have you here. I've always been inspired by Africa. It is just so picturesque. But what sort of things can you do in Africa?
It's really only limited by your imagination. You've got anything from, shopping and wineries, and in deserts, deltas, you can climb mountains like Mount Kilimanjaro, some of the best beaches in the world, and of course, an incredible African safari.
Yeah, so huge, so much to do. Is it safe, and is it actually easy to get around and travel and see everything?
Absolutely. I think that's a bit of a misconception about Africa. They think it's sort of this big, dark and scary continent, but it's important to remember it is a continent. It's not one big country. So there are good and bad areas in every continent, and I think obviously we wouldn't be going there if it wasn't completely safe. Also, it can be tricky to organise an African safari. There's lots of bits and pieces and a lot of information to really put together.
And so many different safaris.
Exactly, and that's why it's important to go to somebody who knows what they're doing.
Okay, which brings us to Bench International.
Yes,
Tell us all about you guys.
Well, Bench International have been around since 1969 and only do Africa, only specialise in Africa, which is an important distinction, I think. Over the last how many years, it's been we know what we're doing by now, and we do anything from small group tours to tailor-made travel to hiring a houseboat in the middle of Botswana, whatever you can think of.
Now that sounds like my kind of holiday. It sounds obvious to me, but why is it better to go through an African expert when you're choosing to go to Africa?
Well, of course, it's the knowledge and it's the history and it's the passion. We travel there on our honeymoons, our own holidays, our own getaways, and so I think it's really important to go to somebody who knows what they're doing. And apart from that, also we have offices in Africa. So we have one in Cape Town, one in Mombasa. So really keep an eye on things and make sure that everyone's dream holiday is as smooth as it sounds.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's a lot of people at home that are dreaming of an amazing African holiday. Tell us all about the animals. Tell us about the scenery.
Oh, where do I begin? It's absolutely incredible. Obviously from seeing a lion pride in the wild is remarkable, but it can be something as simple as sitting in your front porch in a place like Satao Camp in Kenya. There's 1,000 elephants a day walk past, and it's kind of hard to let that sink in. 1,000 African elephants walking past your front porch, or somewhere like Satao Larai, further up in Kenya, and that only has 200 elephants, but you wake up in the morning, there's a sunrise over Kilimanjaro. Of course, somewhere like Giraffe Manor, which is just an incredible destination to visit. Apart from the fact you have obviously the warthogs running around, and incredible service and food and a beautiful manor. You can feed giraffes from your bedroom window or have breakfast with them. That's my lovely wife, obviously. Sharing the breakfast with it, and it's just.
I mean, that to me is spectacular. I couldn't think of anything better than having breakfast and having a giraffe come on in.
It makes a very good Facebook profile, as you can see. So.
I mean, all of these parts of the holiday sound very extravagant. For people at home, what sort of cost are we looking at? Is it expensive?
Well, I think that's the thing with Africa. There's a range for everybody. So you can go from your 2-star or 3-star family holidays to the finest accommodation in the world. So there really is a budget for everybody. But it's important to remember when you're looking at Africa, it's a bit like a cruise. It's an upfront cost. So once you're paid for it, once you get there, everything is already paid for.
Sit back and enjoy it.
Yeah, it's not like Venice when you're paying €20 for a coffee. It's already done and dusted. And you don't have to worry about paying for elephants or giraffes or extra for lions. It's already taken care of before you go.
Yeah, absolutely. So now that you've inspired us and everyone at home, how easy is it to get in touch with you guys? How do we...
Incredibly easy. You can contact your local travel agent, or give us a call at 1300 Africa, or even just go to the website. It's benchinternational.com.au.
Yeah, some amazing scenery, some amazing animals, and it's a really great idea if you are looking for a holiday completely different to what you've had before. Make sure you give them a call today on 1300 Africa, or head to benchinternational.com.au, or contact your nearest travel agent to get planning your African adventure. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
I am so inspired. I think I might go and have some brekkie with the elephants.
Hey.
Thanks for joining us.